What is going on, my fit fam? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Oh, man, it is a little nasty outside today. It's actually flooding a little bit. I wonder if there's a flash flood warning. I didn't check to see. I'm looking over at this drainage ditch over here, and it's about to overflow, and it's a deep drainage ditch. Maybe there'll be some fish in there. Dude, I've been having a hankering for some fish. If you guys have been following me on my social medias, I've been fishing quite a bit. Past like 3 weekends. I don't know, man. I just enjoy it. It's my deload. It's my de-stressor. But anyways, we are on push day. So I've gotten my my stuff a little bit more scheduled out, routine out, figured out what I'm going to be doing as far as my schedule. There's just been a lot of like changes this past week, and it's finally starting to get some clarity to it, which is great. There's still some tweaking that needs to be done, but we are going to the gym a little bit earlier in the day, trying to make some more room. I'm still a little bit late, about 20 minutes late, and that is just because, oh no, hold on, I got you, don't worry. Are you good? I have to move y'all around. I don't know what the hell just happened though. All this rain, man, it's got y'all slipping and sliding everywhere because you're slippery. Anyways, we got a stoplight coming here. I'll fix y'all up. Unless it goes green. Okay. Let me fix y'all. You know what it was? I didn't have this thing down here to set y'all in place. I need to figure out a way to make sure y'all don't just go fucking flying everywhere. There you go. Anyways, one big thing, we are going to the gym a little bit earlier. But yeah, I woke up just a little bit late, still trying to get used to the 7 a.m. wake up schedule, which it wasn't too bad. I have 2 alarms set, you know, one to kind of wake me up and the other one to kind of be like, okay, you got to get up. And I mistook my second alarm for my first alarm, I guess. But anyways, we got what we needed to get done. And honestly, a lot of it was also due because I was doing some work stuff before getting wrapped up in that. Damn, it's starting to really come down. Yeah, man, lots of rain these past few days. It's been kind of annoying. Luckily, I did get the lawn mowed yesterday, so it's not at all a loss, but I'm going to be cooped up inside for a lot of the day. Speaking of which, we'll kind of go over how the second workout's going to work now. So the way I have this kind of divvied out is the conditioning we're going to go ahead and do here during the main workout, just because I'm already doing some aggressive stuff. And then for the second workout, Monday through Thursday, we're going to go to Hot Works and do some hot yoga and some other slight workouts for some recording up there. But that way I'm really able to unwind the way I need to, because dude, the tightness in my legs from the sprints last week are still definitely there. Like, they're 100% there. I did legs yesterday and they were okay, but I definitely just need to make a more concerted effort towards taking care of that, because it was giving me problems all, you know, the last vlog y'all saw, I was frustrated as hell, and a big part of it, you know, obviously was just getting back in a routine and everything like that, but I was so tight from that, man. I was so abnormally tight from that I couldn't hardly even get my other workouts going. That being said, I believe conditioning today we have sprints. I'll have to go on there and look. I honestly kind of hope it is either today or tomorrow, because I need to keep doing that, unfortunately. I say unfortunately. It is something I definitely can feel that I need. I didn't realize it was going to have such a dramatic effect on my... Honestly, that kind of feeling's conducive with, like, muscle building. So, like, I wonder how it's going to fill my legs out. As far as the look. Because, you know, man, I don't know if you guys have seen Usain Bolt's legs, but they're pretty freaking jacked. Because he sprints. So, you know, that'd be cool. Plus, obviously, it's definitely extremely athletic. Worked for what I'm trying to go for, so that's, I don't know. I'll have to look, because like I said, I have a thing built out, like a program built out for conditioning, and so I gotta kind of keep following that. You know, I didn't even necessarily build it. I had ChatGPT build it for me, and you guys can do this too. You can go in there and say, hey, make me a conditioning circuit. Now, I wouldn't, here's the thing, it may not be as good as tailored to you, because I really went in there and I tweaked a lot of stuff with the knowledge I have with this kind of stuff, and also where I am in my own fitness journey. Like, if I felt like it was too much, I dialed back a little bit. With conditioning, you got to be a little careful, because obviously you saw what the sprints did to me, you know? So dabble with that kind of stuff. You can have ChatGPT make you some, you know, depending on where you're at, maybe some beginner level conditioning, or, you know, that just may be as simple as not doing it as many days per week. But right now we're supposed to be doing 6 days a week. I didn't do the last one because I just didn't know. I was all over the place about what we were doing. So that's the case with that. On Fridays, we're just going to be doing some jogging, just to kind of wrap up the week, kind of deload a little bit. On the weekends, we won't have a second workout like we were doing before. I think I was able to get my routine set up to where I could do some jiu-jitsu on the weekend, so we're going to see if we can get that going this weekend. No promises, because again, I don't want to like try and just force all kinds of rhythms and stuff that aren't working right, you know, because then I'm just going to be fumbling, getting frustrated, doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's not what we're going to do. So we'll see what happens. I've been in the talks with a few different people, and I did get my schedule rearranged so that I could have that Saturday morning open, which most jiu-jitsu gyms are going to have like a Saturday or Sunday class. So that'll work for me, especially for the next like 6 months. If I can do that, listen to it, and I know this once a week, you're like, man, you really need more training than that. Well, one, yes, I do. But two, what people don't understand is like, you gotta be, it's the commitment part. Like, that's the part that people don't understand. The commitment part, listen, if you just go really hard for 1 month, and let's say you're able to do like 3 classes for a month, right? 3 classes a week. Well, at the most, what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna go, you know, what's 3 times 4? You know, 12 classes for that month. Maybe burn yourself out because you were going really hard. You only got 12 classes in, right? Whereas like with me, man, I'm getting 4 classes a month. I plan on doing this for at least the next 6 months, you know, so 6 times 4, I'm already getting more training than you. I'm actually pretty much doubling. I'm getting, that's 6 times 4 is 24. Literally doubling the amount of training you're getting, just because I've built a system where I can stay consistent for longer and I'm more determined about it. So again, man, it's really about just being consistent with the game. Because here's the thing, man, time's going to pass regardless, you know? And that being said too, it's not like, you know, I don't have any jiu-jitsu game. I think that's something I haven't mentioned yet. I started, when I got into MMA, I started with jiu-jitsu. I didn't start with the stuff you guys see me doing on the bag. That didn't start until really these past, like, until I got into my 20s. All right, so a lot of it was all ground game before that. It's just not, it's very unpolished, you know, and I could definitely tell during my last MMA fight it needed a lot more nailing down. And that might just be because the guy I was fighting was a lot better at jiu-jitsu than I was. But that being said, I don't care. You know, it's something that needs to be worked on. So anyways, I digress. That's why, you know, that's the whole spiel with how that's going to work. But, you know, that'll mean Saturday will be my non-lifting day, and that'll mean Sunday will be leg day. And so I had to figure out where I was going to put that yoga in, because I could not just not do the yoga. So that's why we're going to be doing the yoga at the end of the day. So Monday through Thursday. So it's still 4 days of yoga a week. I think that should really do us very, very well. But anyways, we're just going to have to see how it turns out. As far as this morning goes, everything feels very good. You know, we'll have to see how my legs are feeling. We have, you know, it's push day, so I'm not too worried about it. I don't really know what's going to be on the agenda for today, but I'm really just going to try and listen to my body and, you know, not just really just focus too much on strength. I think we've been just prioritizing strength too much. I need to do heavy weight training at the beginning, like super heavy weight training at the beginning, or as heavy as I can for less reps. But at the same time, I need to stop getting caught up on like strength. I think that's something that's really been like getting under my, annoying me. But it's also part of the process of cut. You're not going to get necessarily just way stronger during a cut. You can, but guys, I've been doing this for 15 years. At a certain level, it's going to stop. Like you're really going to need those calories to keep going on and on and on and on. But I digress. I don't know. That's one of those things without risking chances of getting hurt. I'm just putting all these hypotheticals out here. But I do know for a fact right now, I'm not worried about strength as much because I know I'm really strong, right? Especially strong for a fighter. So I'm not really just like super focused on that because I know I can always prioritize that later. And a lot of that strength's going to come back once I start prioritizing that. So that's the case with that. That being said, power is probably going to be a main factor. That's really what I'm be really switching that out with, which is good too. That's something that definitely needs to be in the playbook too. But anyways, we're going to go inside, get warmed up, and I'll figure out what we're going to kind of do for push day. I'm going to keep it loose and then also figure out what we're going to be doing for conditioning. So I guess we'll stick with that weight. I feel like I didn't take my creatine yesterday. I can't remember. Gotta get better about that. Anyways, 2-minute break. All right, I think I know what we might be doing. So, like I said, we're gonna do what we said we were gonna do with the other stuff. And then I think tricep superset, probably do the cable push down and overhead tricep extension like we usually do, just because I really like that one. And it's been at least a week since we've hit that, so why not? And then I think we're gonna go ahead and do some strict-ish dips, because we have been really neglecting dips. In fact, next time we do push, I need to make sure we hit that dip machine probably. But I want to do strict dips just to kind of work on that mobility. And then obliques. So that's the only other thing we got to figure out. So figure out what the hell we're doing with obliques. But again, taking the hat off, we're probably going to do 4 total sets of this. So we have 6 sets total. And I'll probably do 4 sets of the shoulder presses too. But let me take this off. Okay. I kind of felt something on that one. I'm gonna decrease the weight. Because again, I'm not as concerned about strength during this phase. So, I mean, we got some decent strength training in, but I can tell at the bottom, I really need to spend some more time stretching down there, because I'll stop here for the press. You know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna actually drop this down all the way to like 60 and really experiment with that bottom like stretch part right there, because I think that's where I'm having issues. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for these obliques, man. Definitely gonna have to do something turn based, rotational based. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's honestly been a bit since we've done some pail off presses, so it wouldn't be a bad idea, but it's not rotational based. You know what I mean? Decisions. Told you I was wanting to come off. That felt pretty good. I'm probably going to do 15 on this last set just to really feel it squeeze, but especially at that bottom, I can definitely tell if I angle my elbow the right way, there's some deep stretching going on. So let me get in one more break and we'll do one more set of these and then we'll do some shoulders. Oh, and by the way, conditioning is sprints today. I don't know if I'll get that recorded or not, just because it'll take some time. I mean, it'll be literally an extra added 10 minutes to the video. So I'll tell y'all what, we might not record core or triceps. Yeah, we might not record like dips or something. I don't know. I'm trying to make it to where these aren't going to be like over an hour long, because it's a lot to edit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where's my hat? I think I only got 12. It felt good. It feels like I got a good little pump in there. Especially like I was going real wide with it, because that's where I'm feeling that stretch, you know? I don't know, I'm playing around a little bit. Especially with the chest, like I've told y'all before. Trying to get, focused on that posture. And so, especially with push or my anterior muscles, like anything that's gonna be pulling me forward, I'm trying to really focus on stretching that part. So let's get set up for some alternating shoulder press, or dumbbell shoulder press, but we're gonna be standing for these so we can use our core. We're doing 8 on each side of these, and we're doing underhand presses, just to kind of work on that mobility in that shoulder, feel that stretch out again. And then after these, tricep superset. I'm not gonna record the conditioning today, just because I have a really good, what I want to do with those dips is I actually want to superset those with explosive push-ups. Not necessarily clapping. If I can, I'll do clapping, but off the ground, something plyometric, like I said, explosive, because I just feel like it's too good for y'all. And then I'm gonna do the conditioning stuff on my own, just because if I do it on camera, like I said, we'll see how long this is. But what we might start doing is I might just stop showing y'all every set. And I don't show y'all every set necessarily, but like I show y'all a lot of the sets. So that way I can show y'all more, and that way I can get more of my exercises in. But it's just a little bit much with everything, you know what I mean? All right, hopefully that's a good little spot for y'all. Good. That's pretty good. I'm gonna do 2 more sets, but I'm gonna go ahead and bump up to 40 or 45. We'll see what feels good. Yeah, the way the conditioning is gonna work is for 4 weeks, it's gonna be the same conditioning, and then it's gonna switch phases. So it's not like you guys aren't gonna get a chance to see some of these sprints. But I will say I almost would rather do them outside than on a treadmill, because we're gonna have to do them in a treadmill today, and we're gonna see how they feel. But I'm telling you, when I did them outside, that's when they really effed me up. So we'll see how they feel. We're gonna do a little testy test today. They're okay today, a little bit. I mean, there's still definitely some tightness, so just to be aware. I'd be really ticked off if I accidentally pulled something doing some sprints. You know what I'm saying? All right. Go a little bit for you guys. Yep. All right. One more. Oh, this is a good weight. I feel my core working like crazy on these, especially because of that rotation. You know, I had legs yesterday. I was kind of thinking about what we're going to be doing for legs this upcoming. I guess it'll be the next vlog for y'all. But yesterday I did leg press, alternating leg extension, and then standing alternating hamstring curl. I want to get some more hamstring curl going. So I think what we're going to do on squat day, I definitely want to get Zercher lunges in. I got to get more lunges in general in. Definitely want to go ahead and get hack squat in for quads. Then we'll go ahead and go to lying hamstring curl. And then I want to go ahead and do some glute bridges. I think that's what this upcoming leg day is going to be kind of looking like. We'll see. But I was just kind of thinking, like, what do we need to start kind of really attacking now that we're really focusing more on, like, you know, conditioning, power, that kind of stuff. And, you know, definitely glutes definitely is one. Let me get through these 2. We definitely need to next pull day hammer down on these shoulders. I'm just trying to really not attack the front deltoids. They're a concern, but I think, you know, maybe doing some extra sets for the side raises and extra sets for the rear delts. Like I could do dumbbell side raises and I could do cable side raises. I don't know how that would look on a superset though. Be a bit weird. I've seen weirder. Anyways, let me go ahead. I'm gonna do at least 2 sets of the triceps on my own, and then I'll pull you guys out for the last 2 sets of that, just so we can save some space. You know, I actually debated not even pulling y'all out for these, because we've done these at least twice on the vlog. But whatever. We Gucci. But that's something I just gotta kind of keep in mind is I don't care necessarily how long these vlogs are. I'm just trying to keep y'all's attention in mind. Like, you know, an hour's a lot to watch. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of information in these, you know. That's why I've been trying to clip them up a little bit. And so that's my main spiel on that. If we can take out some stuff, if I feel like it's a little redundant, I say that because there'll be people who watch these who haven't seen some of the other vlogs too, you know. So I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it just a bit, but that's kind of a rule I do have for myself, is try not to go over an hour if you can. We've gotten close. Well, you know what I mean, an hour as far as like watch time. Yeah, so we're gonna do 2 sets of these. And I like using this attachment, by the way, just because it helps with the angle. Way, especially for overhead, way better than this straight bar for me. We're wearing these triceps out before we even get to the superset. Well, I say that superset for dips and push-ups. See how we're feeling? I'm trying not to just fry them for this, you know, slightly more explosive superset, but you know, they need to get hit. And then for lunch, I don't know what we're eating. I think we might do some, you know, doing some beef burgers honestly sounds really good. With some eggs. That sounds really good. I might do that. Okay. Starting to bead a little bit of sweat. I really should use more weight here, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting that full contraction on these triceps. I need to do single arm at some point. Yeah, they're feeling pretty toasted, I'm not gonna lie. I do think I forgot to take my creatine yesterday. I just genuinely don't remember taking it. To be honest, I don't remember taking any of my supplements yesterday. Yesterday was weird, it was Mother's Day, so I had mainly protein shakes at night, so I don't think I did. That would have explained it, but anyways, I feel pretty good. So that being said, I think we're gonna go ahead and get these dips to explosive push-up superset going. We're probably gonna do 3 sets of 8 and 8. Let's keep it controlled on the dips and then explosive on the push-ups. And I'll pull y'all out for the last 2 sets. All right, I'm gonna do my best on these. I did 1 set and I barely got off the ground. So we're gonna do a full extra set here. If I get to the push-ups and I get to the point where I just can't get off the ground, then we will shorten the rep range, you know, for sure, obviously. But I think we're gonna go 8 and 8 right now and just see what happens. Whew. Man, if I give myself a good 90-second break, I should be able to get 1 more set in. So let me get some water and I'll do that. All right, after these, forgot we still have to hit obliques. I'm not gonna record them
But I am going to go ahead and, I was going to say get a pose out with just one in the posing group. We'll see. That's the thing. I might have to just start doing the posing at home or something. It's definitely limiting me a bit. Or honestly, I'm probably just going to get a second. I need to get multiple gym memberships to other places. It's just this, I need to widen my range up a little bit. Which we could do. I haven't done this yet. We could do some of the vlogs up at Hotworks too, because they've got some cool different equipment up there too. So we might try that. I don't know. I was thinking about maybe getting a little Planet Fitness membership and seeing if I could sneak up there just for some quick workouts too. Again, just to change the environment up, one. But two, I can open myself up to like more different things. You know what I mean? It'd just be more fun and good for the content. Just switch things up, play around and experiment with different lighting angles and stuff like that. Right now, I'm kind of limited. And so, like I said, it'd also be a good opportunity to kind of do some home gym workouts, but there's not what I want for a full workout up there quite yet. Like, I don't know, I definitely could. It just depends on how I want to go about it, you know? Again, I just gotta have to kind of plan it out and think it out. But we might start doing that here soon, just because it's definitely within my budget for one, but two, it's business. I got to remember, like, this isn't necessarily just a hobby. It is quite literally what I do for a living. So that being said, I'll have to kind of look around. There's some new gyms opening up too that I want to kind of check out. So we're gonna play around with those, see what they have available. But my big thing right now is figuring out if I'm gonna be able to pose today or not. And I don't think I am. So whatever. I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll try. I did 10, or I did 9, I think. All right. Let's see how these are gonna fucking go. Ah, shit. Nothing on that last one. Yeah, let's get some core in. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the pail off presses going. I'm not gonna record that. And then if I can find a spot to go ahead and get a pose out in, we'll do that. But we will see. All right, I didn't know if this is an area we could pose at, but no one's over here. So, gonna go ahead and pose out over here real quick. We'll keep the shirt on. I'll just have to use stringers or something when I come here, for sure. That's okay. I'm not too concerned about the posing, other than just for video format. You know what I mean? But I do want to start switching up the gyms. It's just that time. You know, I've been going here very consistently for like a year and a half. And I say switch gyms. I mean, not that we're going to leave here. I just want to open it. I've always wanted to be, you know, one of those guys that's able to like, all right, I want to go to this gym today. I want to go to this gym today. And so we're going to start kind of, you know, luckily the business is getting to a point where I can start doing that. And of course, honestly, again, it's really a tax deduction because, again, it's for business. It's for the sake of the content. You know what I mean? And I mean, the content will show that. But that on top of, you know, just having access to different stuff in town and building the community base and getting to know, you know, getting my presence out there, letting everyone kind of see from all different gyms who I am. You know, I do want to have some kind of community sense. Because I mean, I don't want to act like I'm a local celebrity or anything, but I do get recognized in public. It's happened more than a few times, and not at a gym. Like one time I was at a restaurant eating. It's kind of strange. If that's you were cool. I just wasn't used to it. If you're watching this, but yeah, one time me and my brother and my friend got done fishing, and we went and ate at this restaurant outside of town, and I got recognized. It was very strange. But anyways, the big thing is I just want to diversify it up. I'm going to have to be very you know, eyeball-y about, you know, what I'm doing at certain places, kind of get the vibe of what's cool and what's not, because I'm going to be trying some different stuff out. But for sure, I know I can do just about whatever at Hotworks. Very chill with them. So I think maybe tomorrow morning I might try and, you know, go up there. Yeah. Yeah, and then leg day for sure, we're still going to work out here. So the next vlog you guys are going to see is going to be here regardless, just because I've already kind of built out what I want to do based off of this equipment here. I don't know, but Friday we might switch it up. You know, Friday we might go ahead and do one at like Hotworks, or there's a few different gyms in town. But my big thing is, this is why I want to personally like own my own gym, is that like I want to, you know, make it the way I want to make it, if that makes sense. But anyways, who doesn't? It's a whole headache. But that being said, I still got to do this conditioning. I'm going to go ahead and do, again, it's really going to have to be more Tabata style, just because, you know, I'm not going to be able to full out sprint. I don't think I can full out sprint on these treadmills because it's at a set pace. You know what I mean? And a full out sprint really isn't at a set pace. So that's why I would prefer to do this on the ground. So I don't know, maybe even next time we do push day on a vlog, we might do that one at home so I can do the sprints, you know, the way I want to, and record them for you guys. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get these done. Going to give about 8 rounds, 45 seconds, or 15 seconds on, 45 seconds rest. See how that does us. And then I'll see y'all in the car.
All right. Onion rings, dude. Not good. Those sprints tore me up bad. I actually didn't even really get them going. As soon as I started, it's the stride. So I figured out why I've probably been feeling all this frustration and this just like what the fuck is going on kind of feeling. A big part of it is just that like I can't get a good stride going because my hamstrings are tight as hell. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. How's it going? All right. Anyways, yeah, man, it's driving me nuts. That I was literally tiptoeing in my Jordans on that treadmill. I ended up doing like 10 minutes, 1 minute on, 1 minute off at like, I think I did like the highest I went was like 6.6 speed, and then I would walk for like at a 3 speed. So yeah, man, not great, but my legs are feeling super tight. Like they felt great before I did that, and then I started taking those long ass strides. Man, they're still tender. They're still very tender. So I think the big thing is just make sure I'm putting a lot of TLC on them during tonight's you know, yoga / foam rolling hot yoga sesh. Get the trifecta, if you will. But definitely going to be like, especially the foam, it feels like it needs some foam rolling. So let's spend some time on that tonight. Shut up! I need to clean this car. Anyways, time to go home and get some freaking lunch. Yeah, man, I think we are going to be switching some gyms up. And again, it's nothing against that gym. It's just I'm bored of it. You know, not bored of it. That's not a good way of saying it. I'm ready to switch it up. You know what I mean? Going in, doing it, it starts feeling like work to an extent, which it is. But like, also, I don't have to do that. It is absolutely for someone who does what I currently do, a tax deduction to have any kind of gym membership. And I kind of, again, I want to use this opportunity to kind of like, you know, let people see my presence across this town. You know what I mean? As weird as that might be to say, it's hard to ignore me when I'm in the gym fucking doing what I do. You guys have seen what I do. And so it's one of those things. Again, this may sound egotistical, but over 15 years of training, it's either I understand the fact that I'm a freak of nature when it comes to like these workouts and stuff, or I let people try and work out with me and they end up getting hurt because they're trying to keep up with the fucking freak of nature. You see what I'm saying? Like, people get hurt if I don't say that stuff, literally. I've had friends try and join me for workouts and like have panic attacks. I've had them throw up. I had them get through half the workout and want to go home because they're done. and they slow me down. You know what I mean? So like if I don't treat it that way, people get hurt. That being said, it's also really hard to ignore. And so my main thing is I know what tends to get under these gyms' skin when I start going to them. Like I said, what's different about Arkansas Muscle is they're private, so they're a little bit more chill. In fact, I'm sure they enjoy the publicity I do give them, because like I said, I got like, you know, I'm locally decently known. No celebrity by any means, but 100% people, what is this person doing? Well, I'm going, bud. I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead. I don't know what you're doing. This person is drunk. What is going on? Every time we've vlogged so far, these past like 3 weeks, someone's doing something crazy. That person was like, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were doing. They weren't getting into the turning lane, but they had their turn signal on. I don't know what they were doing. They looked, I'll be a little bit nicer to that person, because that person just turned around and looked at me and went, ah. Like, I don't know if she doesn't know where she's going. Whatever. That's so distracting. Anyways, next time you guys see me, we will be at the regular gym, because I've already got that workout kind of played out. But I think on Friday we're going to switch. In fact, tomorrow when I do my pull workout, I plan on actually going to Hot Works, just because I feel like we could do some really nice pull exercises at that spot. And I'll probably focus on like pull-ups for like my athletic movement anyways. You know, that they don't have any barbells or anything, but they've got this really different kind of cable setup I want to play around with. I really haven't had a chance to really do it, because I'm never going there for my actual workout. This is what I mean. I want to play around with stuff like this. There's different stuff at different gyms. They have different focuses. So like I said, we're going to play around with it. But anyways, that's all we got for today. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the next leg workout. Peace out. Have a wonderful day.